This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 14th day of November in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The president of the Guyana Public Service Union, Patrick Yard, today expressed his union's frustration with the prolonged negotiations with government to address the working conditions and salaries for public servants. At a mid-morning press conference, Mr. Yard complained that the concerns of the union do not appear to be getting much attention from the government. He revealed that the government's point man for the negotiations was the permanent secretary for the Public Service Department, Reginald Broderson, and he has since retired.
There have been a peculiar development in our situation in that the negotiator in the agreement that we have signed, the government negotiator, is the permanent secretary Public Service Ministry. Or now it is the Department of Public Service, Public Office of the President. And that position is vacant. Okay? Before it was vacant, we couldn't get meetings. And I wrote the President, and I could share you a copy of my letter to him and his reply to me. Okay? Of the frustrations that we've been having to have a meeting to discuss conditions of service to public servants.
The GPSU president said the union is not happy with the state of the negotiations and is even more unhappy that once again the negotiations are being drawn to the end of the year.
We're very unhappy that the practice continues where the government frustrates these negotiations till the end of the year. Okay, we're very unhappy that that practice continues. We were given the assurance that that would cease, but it continues.
Mr. Yard said the union has already submitted a 3-year proposal to the government but has not heard back from the administration, and it's not clear when the negotiations will resume. The GPSU president said he intends to take the issue to the wider membership of the union and its general council for them to come up with a plan to ensure the issue is addressed.
People, a lot of public servants receive poverty payments. Okay? Lots of them ends can't meet with what they're getting. So there's no question of whether we will pursue the best we could get. Okay? That's a de facto position.
When asked about the recommendations that were made by the Public Service Commission of Inquiry, Mr. Yard said the union did not agree with all of those recommendations.
That we did not agree with quite a few of the recommendations that were made. Let me talk the bad part first, yeah? For instance, this differentiated salary that they give, and I could share with you, where people at a certain level getting a 1% is ridiculous, right? And it makes a mockery, paying people those high amounts of money, and you're not taking into consideration the cost of inflation on their salary, so at least they could stabilize what they owe. Okay? So we made it very clear, we totally reject that.
The Guyana Public Service Union intends to meet with its membership later this week. More news coming up in just a moment.
This Christmas, get a loan for your dream car with an extended repayment term. Spruce up your home with that renovation you always wanted and take advantage of low or no down payment. Get new appliances so you can cook up a storm. You'll get same-day approval. Plus, you can win a getaway to a destination of your choice. Visit RepublicGuyana.com today to find out how.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Get ready to ride it, ride it. Ready to ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride the wave. Open up the new vibe, drink up the boldness inside. Radical and fresh and wild. Catch the wave now. Ride bold, ride fresh, ride strong. Come on, ride the wave. satisfaction, perfection. Way better ale, way better ale, way better ale, way.
Ride the new wave of excitement sweeping Guyana. Wave Pale Ale, a premium, full-bodied, strong, and refreshing alcoholic brew, crafted to perfection for a bold, young, radical you. Don't settle for anything less. Catch a Wave Pale Ale and ride it today.
Way better ale.
Crafted to perfection.
Welcome back. Let's tell you now that the lifeless body of well-known Mandela Avenue potter Dorset Small was found in his home this midday. The 55-year-old man, whose yard is decorated with his many plant pots, lived alone and was last seen late Monday. The discovery was made by one of his friends who works along with him and who became concerned after repeatedly calling the home and getting no answer. When the friend visited the home this morning, it was locked from the inside and he was forced to seek assistance to open up the grillwork and the door to gain access. Paramedics were called in, but the man was already dead. There were no signs of a break-in, and investigators who were called to the scene do not suspect foul play, according to police sources. The man's daughters broke down in tears as they rushed across to the house upon hearing the news. Another relative of the man explained that he recently underwent an eye surgery and plans were being made to have a relative stay with him at the house. Family members explained that he also suffered from hypertension and diabetes. They suspect that he might have collapsed following an attack from one of those two illnesses. Investigators spent just over an hour at the scene taking photographs and making video recordings. They eventually left, allowing family members to gain access to the house. A police officer is nursing a gunshot wound to his lower back after being shot while in a wooden vessel with 6 other persons in the Cayuny River. The boat came under attack with gunfire from the Venezuelan side of the border. The incident occurred yesterday midday, and according to reports, the boat with the policeman was traveling from Etteringbank to Macapa in the Cayuny area when a group of men on the Venezuelan side of the border opened fire. The police officer was the only one injured. He has been identified as Corporal Quincy Alexander. He was air-dashed out of the area and is a patient at the city hospital this evening. The Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force have launched an investigation. There have been reports for months about various criminal gangs from neighboring Venezuela attacking minors and other persons in the Cayuny area from time to time. A few months ago, Guyana was forced to dispatch more security officials to the area following reports of regular attacks on mining camps and small communities by the criminal gangs. Back to union matters right now. The Guyana Public Service Union is calling an important meeting with members of the Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, following several complaints about the current state and operations of the credit union. The meeting is set for Thursday from 4:45 in the afternoon at the GPSU headquarters.
Because the Guyana Public Service Union is well aware of the members' dependency on their savings and other benefits, it is hereby inviting all members of the Guyana Public Service Credit Union who are bona fide members of the Guyana Public Service Union to attend an important meeting on Thursday the 15th of November 2018 at 4:45 p.m. at the union's headquarters, 160 Regent and Chief Chanjipal Drive, Georgetown, to address the complaints received and the way forward.
The credit union is currently under the management of a committee that was put in place by the Department of Cooperatives. That takeover of the management was as a result of the credit union's management team being accused of keeping poor records and failing to manage the body properly. The management has always denied the accusations.
The present operations of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union requires members to wait 2 and 3 days to receive withdrawals from their special savings, while members from out of town have to travel repeatedly to Georgetown when trying to apply for and access loans from the credit union.
There was an attempt by the ousted management of the union to get the court to reinstate them, but that effort failed and the ministry's management committee remains in place. And finally tonight we turn our attention to the courts. 24-year-old Travis Evans was today charged and remanded to jail for a second murder. The man who had escaped from the Lusignan jail just over a month ago and was recaptured was marched into the court this morning to face a murder charge connected to the death of Gregory Frank at Kurukururu on the Linden-Susdike Highway. Evans was already on remand for another murder. In court today, it was explained that Evans allegedly murdered the legal clerk Gregory Frank between the 31st of July and the 2nd of August this year. The charge sheet stated that Evans beat the man to death during the course of a robbery at the man's Kurukururu home. Frank's lifeless body was discovered in his home with a swollen forehead and other marks of violence. The home was ransacked and an autopsy revealed that the legal clerk had been strangled to death. In late August, the same accused, Travis Evans, was charged with the murder of Ronsley Clark in the Tamari area. He is currently before the court in connection with that matter. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.